really sees things for how they are. So that's number one. Number two, I needed these cameras here. I'm gonna be straight up. I needed these cameras here because that's the message I needed. This is the message that I need to get out. They are here, and I need them to listen to what I'm about to tell them. That is, I just want to be straight up from the start. So it didn't matter if one person showed up, 1 million people showed up. I need these cameras, these people watching from home to hear what I have to say. Okay? Beginning of 2020, March, April time, when all this really began, I own a gym, okay? I own two now, but I owned a gym at this time. And I had government officials, federal, state, and local government officials come into my place of business, my place of work, a place that I own, my property, a place that I go to stay healthy, a place that I use to raise my children and provide for my family. I had these government officials coming to me, to my face, saying, "You may not be open." Huge red flag from the start. Didn't make sense. Started reading the Bible more, started getting the Constitution more. Something's off. So then I told them, I will not be doing that. And I never did that. I have a lot to say, so I hope you're listening, because this gets crazier. So then they realized, man, Kyle's lawyered up, and he's ready to fight us on this. So they backed off. The fines they threatened, all these other things that they threatened, they never did, because they knew if it went to court, and I won local, it would set precedent for these other local gyms and even the state and maybe even at a federal level, so they backed off. So they said, okay, Kyle, and I have this on film, I mean, I have cameras, footage of my gym. They come back and they say, hey, okay, cool. And this happened with many other businesses all over the country. So I hope a lot of you listening, most of you listening are gonna really reside with a lot of things that I'm saying right now. So then, the government comes back and says, health officials, government officials, state, local, and they say, okay, you can have people train in your gym, but you can only have this many people in your gym at a time, and they have to wear masks on their face and be 6 feet apart. Once again, there were human beings, other human beings, telling me what to do with my own property, my own business, with my own family, with my people. And you other business owners out there know what I'm talking about. Your business might as well be your home. That is my home.
Vaccines, and that will be a countervailing.
So another huge red flag.
Video is now YouTube compliant.
That there's government, there's people in our lives that are able to think that they have that type of control to tell you what to do in your own place with your own bodies.
This is now a YouTube compliant live stream.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm anti-mask. I just think anybody should be able to choose what they want. Once again, I told them, I'm sorry, but I don't want to lie to you, but no, I'm not going to do that. I didn't do that. We have still not done that to this day at my gym. And we are healthier, happier, better than ever. Social, the kids that train at the gym, the adults, we're social, we've been social. And then, as an event coordinator, because I do events not just on the National Mall all the time, but all over the DMV area, they started canceling my events. The places I was hosting the events at started saying, hey, Kyle, you can't do these events that you do, like Girl Power, huge one, we're bringing over 5,000 women at each event, Oktoberfest and New Year's at noon and galas to help kids with SMA. We do all these things to benefit people, and then these places that we do it at, we're saying, hey, you can't do it because we're not allowed to be open and we're not allowed to have gatherings of X amount or more people. There were people saying, you can't gather with other people. And they took it as far as saying on national television, you shouldn't even be gathering with your own family for certain holidays, especially the ones that have God in it. So from the start, and I think most of you, I like to believe that most of you know what I'm talking about, something has been way off. Something has been completely off. So, I'm telling you right now today, I personally have never folded to any of that. I'm speaking to everybody right now as somebody who truly has not listened to these people, to this government that's supposed to be serving us. I haven't listened to what they've been saying. And I'm still living as free as possible because of it. Then, my kids, they're 4 and 6 years old, and they start school, and in the place that I am in Maryland, Montgomery County, Maryland, that I was living at, they were saying your kids cannot come to school or be in our school unless they have masks on their face. Not optional. They may not come to school unless they have masks on their face. Once again, I'm not going to say I'm anti-mask or anti-vax. I just believe the family, the parents, the kids should be able to choose what to do when it comes to that for their own lives. Cool. So I moved my family, I physically moved out of that county to go to another county in the state that it was mask optional. Okay, cool. There's a county that's still fighting, and they get it, they see it, they know that their freedoms should not be given up because federal and state is trying to tell them to do it. So I moved to this other county where it's mask optional, and my kids start school without masks, and they're going to school, and they're doing it, and they're loving it, blah, blah, blah. And 2 weeks in, the county folds to the state because the state said, we are not going to fund you and give you this or do this, the stuff that you're entitled to that we should have because it's our, state tax money that you pay for. This is entitled to you, but we're not going to give it to you. We're not going to give it to you unless your school system is doing what we say. And we know that trickles down from federal, state, to local. When it should be the opposite. Power should be local has the power. We the people have the power. Then the local government, then the state, then the federal. So it's completely backwards. But here's the thing. So they folded. So they said, my kids may not enter school without a mask, that were already in school without the mask. So I didn't fold. I pulled my kids out of school where I'm now currently homeschooling them. And I'm telling you right now, what I've seen in the homeschooling with the last year and a half of homeschooling, they have gone to a whole nother level, passing all these kids. Listen, I work with a lot of kids through my nonprofit, through my gyms, through going to schools and doing things and helping out. And I'm telling you right now, the kids that have been not part of this whole system, they truly have risen faster. They're more social. They're healthier. They're not living in fear and confused. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not trying to attack anybody who's in the school. I'm not saying anything like that at all. I'm just telling you there's something wrong. There's something extremely wrong, and you guys see it, you know it, and there's people that are like still pushing the narrative, but they know it too. They do know it. So between the school systems and people not closing their business down and listening to what the government's telling them that they should do, that they should be able to tell them what to do, people just listen and are okay. Think about it from the start. Think about from the start how many people just said okay. They were told this, and this, and they just went with it. Okay, I'll close my business right away. Okay, these people must know what they're doing. These human beings who make errors all the time, these human beings that, let's be honest, these leadership that aren't really following God are telling us what to do. Let me just listen right away. And I saw that, and what happened was this. I saw the people that I thought were leaders, I thought the people that were going to be there to fight for what's right, cave. And they gave in. And I'm looking around, and I'm trying to talk to people, and they're closing. They're like, Kyle, this whole COVID thing, and I'm just like, I couldn't find anybody to step up and like fight with me on this and stuff. So I've been doing everything myself with the legislation process, getting lawyers, pulling my kids out of school, being harassed at my gym, but still staying strong. And I couldn't find the people that were supposed to be our leadership. The people that are supposed to represent us, the people we elected, didn't do anything to fix it. And it's not a right or left problem. It's not a Republican Democrat problem, because I was going to both sides and nobody has fixed anything yet. That's why I'm on this stage today. There's still, nothing has been really changed. And people are like, oh, but now they're starting to, take away in these states, and they're starting to do, it needs to be cut. It just needs to be done with. Should have never happened in the first place. I guarantee every single person here today knows at least one person that either wore a mask or got a shot in their body that they didn't want, but they would have lost their livelihood if they didn't. Think about that. Every single person here, if not yourself, knows at least one person that has put something in their body that they didn't want, or on their face that they didn't want, because the government made them. I'm sorry. The government gave the illusion that they had to. And the leadership, the people that are supposed to be representing us and fighting for us, haven't done anything. Because they sit pretty. Listen, you have to remember, these people that work for the government, they do make a lot of money. They do have a lot of power. They're gonna do anything to keep that, and that's very unfortunate. I go on a whole nother rant about that. But that's what I've seen personally. There's a lot of people talking from outside. I've been in this from the start. Since it started in 2020, I've been fighting this. I started at the local level, doing rallies and protests outside, and it's like 20 to 40 people showing up. I'm like, everybody else is talking about, people are hitting me up, I'm getting blown up, everybody that wants to be part of this and actually make a change. But when it comes down to actually stand up against the government and put yourself out there and take a risk and put aside your livelihood to actually fight for the future of your children, because if we don't do something, I heard this one time, it says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And it's only gonna get, things are gonna get worse. So think about it. We all know people that are doing things right now that doesn't even go with their beliefs or their morals, but they say they have to do it. Even my own family, even my own friends, we've all witnessed it, and it's literally caused this divide in families, in schools, in friendships, in business. We've all literally had division in our lives because of where we stand with this. That's a huge problem, especially when we the people, us, are this country. And we're in DC today, and I don't know how many of you have actually walked around to these monuments and memorials, especially the war memorials. And people are forgetting a huge fact here. There's people that have literally given their lives because they believe that much in freedom and what we've had in this country. There's thousands of people on these memorials. You go look at the names where they gave their lives so that we can be doing what we're doing, but it's being stripped away, which is why I at least have to speak out. I have to do something. I can't tell my kids in years from now, like, listen, I had a chance to do something and I didn't do anything about it. So I had to get people here. I had to have people listen. I had to, call friends, do anything I could to get more awareness of what's truly going on and how many people are behind this. So I just want to make it very clear where I stand with these things. What the government has done at the federal level, starting with the federal level and the state level and the local level, it's completely backwards. There are twisted people running our country right now. We give them all this respect and we give them all this trust. And if you know anything about history with politics, it really is a bunch of lies. And even currently, I stepped into a role in Maryland to run for office, and I'm seeing more than ever, man, it really is that bad. These people are talking about, oh, let's screw over the Democrats because we're Republican. Let's screw over the Republicans. Let's screw over the Republicans because we're Democrat. And they're not even trying to fix the issues. And it's the same thing at the federal level, the state level, the local level. This is what is happening. So I'm telling you, as somebody who's actually in this, I'm in this in every way possible. And I want to keep updating you guys on really what's happening, because this goes much farther. Now with the election process and what they're trying to do to keep me off the ballot and stuff like that. This is so, I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't understand too much about the Constitution, our government, all these things until it started happening to me personally. So I started studying, taking classes at the Institute of the Constitution, where the founder of the Institute of the Constitution is speaking in a little bit. And I started taking these classes and really learning what our God-given rights are. Just so you guys know, I mean, how many people here do really know that our God-given rights are found in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments? But I say these things because these are the things that saved my business and saved my kids from wearing masks, and it has gotten me to have the freedoms that I have. And people don't even know. It's not even taught in schools anymore. Why isn't God and the Constitution taught in schools? No wonder our country is getting where we're at. It's only going to get worse. It is. There's a lot of people that are watching and hoping and praying and wanting and they're looking for some type of hope to fix things. And nothing's gonna get fixed until we do bigger things. And people wonder why, like, oh man, why is Kyle such a big advocate and so behind these convoys coming and trying to do his end? Why is he so big behind this movement? Because listen, this is a huge deal. Because it's like the Tea Party of our time. And for those of you that don't know, the Tea Party was what really started that spark that caused the Revolutionary War that gave us our independence in the first place. So those things have to happen. So when I see all these truckers making their way across the country as we speak, I'm like, listen, there's hope in that. It's a big deal. That's why I've done whatever I can to push people to that. Because it is a big deal. And it's gonna be historic, and it can make a huge change. So you guys need to support that cause if you're not doing other things. If you're not showing up to other things. So I want to make it very clear, you guys, where I stand, because one, God put it on my heart. He said, get people to the National Mall, get those cameras to the National Mall, tell your story. You need to speak to people. They need to hear you, because people need to hear that there's more people out there like yourself than you think. Because it's coming. There's times coming soon to where we really, really got to stand up. Otherwise, we're just going to be cutting. Things are going to get worse. And I know there's a lot of people here today, and there's a lot of people watching that have children. Things are going to dramatically change, continue to dramatically change. And listen, media and what you see and what you hear, think about how so far one way one thing is, and so far the other. What are you going to believe? You need to be out here, you guys. You need to be out looking for yourself. And that was one big thing that helped me, is while everybody was in their houses trying to just literally caged in their houses, not allowed to leave. That's how people felt. I was out in the streets having meetings with people from the start, from left, from the right, so that I could really understand what's going on. I was traveling to Georgia to CDC headquarters. I was having meetings at NIH so that I could understand what's going on, and nothing made sense. It wasn't making sense, and it still doesn't. Which is why people are like, make it make sense, make it make sense, make it make sense. It's because there's so much confusion rather than people just really seeing what's going on, getting out like we are, being out here, hearing people with real testimonies. So I wanted to make sure that people understand where I'm coming from and where I'm speaking from. I don't care less about winning an election and all this stuff. All I want to do is make a better life for my children. I'm being straight up with you guys. And no matter how people want to twist this and make me look bad or whatever, you guys that are here today are going to know the truth, and you're going to keep watching me fighting for the freedoms, because bigger moves are going to be made. It's going to happen. I'm telling you guys right now, you're looking at somebody that doesn't talk about it but is about it. Obviously, I'm still here. I made an announcement on March 1st I would be here, right? Where are the trucks? Where are the trucks? I know the ones that I had planned coming that are local friends and family. I know they're not even allowed in because they need a commercial license and have proof of a drop-off today because of the checkpoint. So they weren't even able to stage and make it look cool here. Just getting this permit alone, hey, just so you guys know, it's just so it's out and open. I've done permits my whole life. I'm an event organizer. You look into me and all the events I've done. I've done the National Mall 5 times. I pulled the permit. It would take a 2-hour meeting, and I'd have my permit right away. In the last 2 weeks alone, I've spent 20 hours being interrogated, harassed, manipulated by all these different authorities. And it would only be like 3 people in a meeting in the past permits, but now I got 13 people in meetings from different agencies trying to twist what I'm trying to do in the first place. And I know for a fact that a big part that it's not that we're not flooded here at the National Mall is because that was a goal of theirs from the start, to try to diminish my word and stop what I'm trying to do. Because it is a big deal. But I still showed up. Even if none of you did, I'd still be right here. Because I keep my word, and I know what I'm fighting for. And even in the years from now, people will realize, yo, that dude Kyle, he did know what he was talking about. Man, I really wish I was with that dude from the start, and all the people that he's been with from the start, because they actually knew where it was going. So I know I talk a lot, you guys, but I need these things understood and said. That was on my heart. That was the whole goal, was to get right here and share you guys my story, because I'm not gonna fold. And people are like, oh, but you know, the other states are starting to lift their mandates, and I just heard a county over there, like this kid, the people are cheering that their kids are allowed to take off the mask. People are cheering that now it's okay. These people in power told us that we can do this now. These people that aren't supposed to have this power over us. Yay! And it's confusing me, because that's not how it's supposed to be. So last thing I want to say. 1, I don't speak for them, but there is a huge convoy making its way throughout the country. There is. You need to support them, okay? It's my convoy involvement from here on out. Support them. Get everybody to that convoy. Get people as focused on that, because they are speaking big for us. 2, I had people telling me, hey Kyle, I don't think I'm gonna show up today. Oh, I'm not gonna risk doing this because they're afraid of their government. Straight up, they are afraid of their government and what they might do. Hey Kyle, listen man, when we get in the city, how's it gonna be? Like, I don't know. I heard there's authority. I heard the National Guard's there. What do you know? They're scaring you away once again, making you not do your God-given right. Make you not do what needs to be done to get things done. Wake up. Just saying. Last few things I want to say. And I don't know how this isn't the most important thing in our world right now, and the most important thing in our lives right now. You need to, 1, get into the Bible. Get into the Word of God. The living Word. The farther our country gets away from that Bible, and the farther our country gets away from knowing what the Constitution says, the worse it's going to get. I will say it again so that you guys can mark this down. The farther that our country moves away from the Bible and understanding the words of God, and farther away that we get away from the Constitution and understanding the Constitution, the worse it's going to get for America. They can twist it all they want, but you're going to see little by little your rights being taken away. And you wonder why all these other people that are from other countries that came to America, you wonder why they're freaking out, because they've been part of that. They've been part of that, and they don't want to have that in America. So a lot of people that I have and connected with on Telegram and Discord and the other things, they're like, Kyle, listen, we're with you, but especially at the local and state, I got these people showing up, and they're from their other ethnicities because they're from these other countries, and they're like, dude, this is what happened before we lost all our freedoms in our country. This is the truth, you guys. It's happening. So I'm not gonna, I need this said so that you guys know, like, yo, once again, Kyle called that in 2022. I mean, we said it. And I'm not saying anything that most of you don't already know. So with these convoys coming and our protests and rallies, we are doing this in the most peaceful way. We are doing this in the most peaceful way. I'm not going to mention other amendments in the Bill of Rights. Because one, we know media would love to twist that right now, especially when I start bringing up the Second Amendment. But there's certain things in our Constitution and amendments, Bill of Rights, that knew that these days were coming. And we are here. And people were like, oh, Kyle, but you probably shouldn't say stuff like that because blah, blah, blah. You mean say the truth because of what might be said or done? Jeez, man, if nobody else is stepping up. Listen, I've been on all these other rallies, these big ones. They got Megatrons, and it's all cool. They got money behind it, and they're flying jets out, and these influencers are speaking up there. They're getting their attention they want, and they're celebrities, and they're saying, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you haven't been through what the average person has been. Even dealing with the things that I'm dealing with right now with this event, I was getting blown up by people that have like #1 hits and stuff like that, and influencers and celebrities that are so with this online. They're with it online. They post all about it. They got millions of followers. And then when I say, oh yeah, can you come preach your message? They say, okay, how much am I getting paid? What? Wait, what? Oh, and what am I flying out on? And like, how are you gonna put me up? Dude, I'm out here trying to fight and get my word out. What are you talking about? What are you making this up? And so I'm starting to see that everybody that I thought was like legit and about it is like, man, it really is like this huge game. And I'm seeing it more and more as I do it. Think about it, guys. I did the local thing, did the state thing, and now I'm on a stage nationally on the National Mall with cameras in the face. So obviously, this is meant for something. I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm telling you what's going on. Care less if there's one person in front of me or a million. I need this message shared. So I got about 1 more hour of talking. I'm just kidding. So listen, get in the Bible. Please understand the Constitution. We need to get it back into schools. We need schools to be teaching about God. We need to have them learning the Constitution. And just so you guys know, that those of you that don't know, the U.S. Constitution, because there are state constitutions as well, very similar to the United States Constitution. The United States Constitution lists what the government can do. This is what the government can do. You'd be surprised how many people don't even know that. And then the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, that's what the government can't touch. And do I really need to start listing off every single amendment to let you guys know? Do you know what amendments that have been violated? Do you know? We have all these people fighting and stepping up and saying, oh, the Constitution, oh, the God-given, and they don't even know what the Constitution says and know what the Bill of Rights says, and sometimes they don't even know the difference between the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and they don't know where to find their God-given rights, which are the Bill of Rights. They don't even know that, and you know what? I can't judge them. Do you know why? Because I was like that 2 years ago, so I can't judge them. I just had to deal with it myself because I had to go to court and represent myself because I don't have money like that. So I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. I don't judge these people, but I'm asking you guys to please start learning what the Constitution says and what the Bill of Rights says, so you know where to stand on. And that's why I say this up here with confidence. I know where I stand. That's why I've been fighting at my gym ever since and still have my gyms open. I mean, geez, we opened up another small gym because we did so well. I do have freedom. I still do. But I see a lot of other people that don't, if not most other people that don't. So I'm going to fight for that because I have it in my heart. And these 2 little boys, there's no way I'm letting it get worse for them, or I'll die trying. I will die trying. For real, I'm not talking about it. Or I will die trying. Because it's worth it. And that's why I mentioned the memorials earlier. They knew. All these people on the National Mall, you go look at all these names that truly gave their life for this country. Man, I get it now. Freedom is worth all that. And number two, I know where I'm going when I die. I do. So we need to make sure that we keep making a better life here, guys, for others, spreading love still, but fighting for the true freedoms and rights. I appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say. There's all these different stories out about right now about, oh, who's Kyle? Oh, what the plan with this? Oh, blah, blah, blah. How are we going to twist this? Oh, there's a nonprofit involved with this. Oh, what's Age of Freedom? What's that? Oh, the convoy. Is he the initial convoy? Is it blah, 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 blah. If you want to know, just ask me and I'll tell you straight up. Because after this, when we move from here today, there will be stories out. And you guys that are here today, you guys that showed up here today, you're going to say, Kyle called this. Kyle called this. And we're going to see the truth about what I was talking about and where I stood and who I am. And then you're going to see the complete opposite. And you're going to go, man, he called it. That's the world we live in now. There is evil. There is people that turn things and twist things. They don't want the truth out. And that's the problem. People don't know the truth. They don't know their God-given rights. Other than that, you guys, listen. I appreciate those of you that did show up. Because I did make a calling out. I did whatever I can. I did whatever I had the power and my ability to do. I mean, I lost money setting all this up, you guys. But it's not about that. I say lost. I mean, it's worth it all. I take my business, take my money, take everything. It's just like, I'm going to make sure that me and my family are living free, even if we live in a box, man. I'm being straight up. I'm not going to have these other people telling me what to do. All right. You can ask me after because I want to get some prayer up here. I just feel God needs us to get some more prayer up here and get some worship in. But I'll be happy to talk to you guys. Seriously. You guys showed up. I appreciate you showing up. And here's another thing real fast. People are like, oh man, what happens if it's huge? Are you going to let the left-wing media in and they're going to twist stuff? Yes, because that is their God-given right. They can do whatever they want. I want everybody to hear what I had to say. And going from here, those of you that are saying, oh, question, I'd love to talk to you and tell you exactly what you asked. Cool? God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle is from Damascus, Maryland, where I pastor Damascus Wesleyan Church, and sometimes I also coach wrestling there in Damascus and have for many years. And some people are like, what church do you pastor? Damascus Wrestling Church? I'm like, no. It's Damascus Wesleyan Church, but I do respect a scrapper, and Kyle Sefcik is a scrapper, and he doesn't mind throwing down. The agenda that is set for today is we are going to be mixing speakers in, and we're going to be weaving some prayer in, and we're going to be weaving some worship in. So Stephen, if you and James can come on up here. Sounds like you guys are going to lead us in a little bit of worship, and you might be going, why are we doing this? Because, we got other things to do. Listen, we're glad everybody's here. We're glad everybody that's joining us on whatever ends of those cameras are there, but who we really need is the Lord. And the Bible says that he inhabits the praise of his people. There we go.
Check. Hey everyone. So we love this country, but more than that, we love Jesus, and so we're gonna sing about him and his goodness. So if you know the songs, please sing along. If not, we don't actually have a screen, but you can look up the lyrics. One second for sound check.
Hello. Is this on? Are we good? Okay. Sweet. Hello now. Check. Turn that guitar another way. Hello. All right. Cool. There's a fun quote. I think it's from a guy named Bill Johnson out in California. And it goes something like this. Sorry, Bill, if I butcher it. It says, without a creator, you lose a couple things. If there's a creator, there's a design. And if there's a design, then there's purpose. And if there's purpose, then there is accountability to what the creator actually designed you to accomplish. And if we take the creator out of the equation, which is what our world is currently trying to do, we lose his design. Things start to fall apart. We become purposeless in our lives, and then there's no accountability, so everything goes. And the king, or the prince of the power of the air, present ruler of the darkness of our current time, is doing everything he can to remove our awareness of that creator, his design, his purpose, and that we will one day answer to him. And today, we're just going to sing a couple songs that remind us that he's in control, he's in charge, and he will one day judge the earth, and we will be accountable to him.
Just one chief and two men's purpose, one main reason for existence. Torments, vain and high ambitions will one day be brought low. Will one day be brought low. There's just one chief and two men's purpose, and one main reason for existence. And all men's vain and high ambitions will one day be brought low. Will one day be brought low. To treasure you above all others, to love you like we love no other. Greatness soon will be discovered, and all the earth will then know. And all the earth will then know. For you alone, for you alone will be exalted in that day. The worthless goals will be exposed as idols that we've made. For you alone will be exalted in that day. And you'll be seen as rightful king, and from our hearts we'll sing. And all is for your glory. All is for your name, and all is for your glory, that in all things you would have the first place, that in all things you you would have preeminence, and that in all things you would have the first place, and that in all things you would have preeminence. All is for your glory, and all is for your name, and all is for your glory, and that in all things you would have the first place, and that in all things you would have preeminence, that in all things, that in all things you would have the first place, and that in all things you would have preeminence, oh God. Just one chief and two men's purpose. There's one main reason for existence, and all men's vain and high ambitions will one day be brought low, will one day be brought low. You reign above it all, you reign above it all, over the universe and over every heart. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. You reign above it all, you reign above it all, over the universe and over every heart. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. So let all of heaven and the earth erupt in song. Sing hallelujah to the everlasting one. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all.
time. You reign.
But you reign above it all. You reign above it all. Over the universe and over every heart, there is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all. So let all of heaven and the earth erupt in song and sing hallelujah to the everlasting one. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all.
My folks who are watching, I normally try to stay out at events sort of from when they start to when they end. That's, generally my style. With that being said, I was informed that this event basically has a permit and a schedule that lasts essentially for 9 hours, from noon until the State of the Union itself at 9 p.m. So I do plan to be here in downtown DC sort of all day to be able to respond to if there's any other, demonstrations or anything like that. And I think it's interesting because there has been technically a National Guard activation, as well as, I ventured by the Capitol earlier and saw that there was, the fences re-erected there. So, they're taking security really seriously based on the notion that there could be basically this protest, trucker convoy, all that kind of stuff. But the actual event taking place here on the National Mall, as you just saw, is about an hour in. And, it's got 36 news cameras or so that showed up. And generously, I would say, maybe 20 actual participants. So far it was one long speech from the organizer himself, and then there have been a couple people playing guitar, but apparently they anticipate that going on for sort of hours. So frankly, I want to be able to kind of be responsive if anything else happens here in the city, and so I'm going to kind of call it a wrap on covering that, at least for now. But I will have live updates throughout the day if anything else is happening here in Washington, D.C. So with that, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will have updates as we approach the State of the Union, which is tonight at 9 p.m. At the United States Capitol.